So, hello there. It's Connor Shaw back again. I promise more videos. So here is another video. I was recently rereading a document that I had written. Um, I want to say a couple of months ago, um, where I had used a quote from uh, Charette. Now, Charette is a lesser known figure in French history. He was the commander of the Vendeans in the Vendean Revolution. You could use the term counter revolution, a lot of people have. And he was the commander, so to speak, the main general of the Vendeans, who were a group of people in the Brittany region of France around the time of the French Revolution. Now, Charette was a sailor who had participated in the American Revolutionary War on behalf of the French Expeditionary Force, and he was a monarchist. He was actually a member of the landed gentry. And when the French Revolution occurred, the way most people conceive of the French Revolution, they perceive it as being this rebellion of the poorest people in France, the rebellion of, the common man, the worker, and whatnot. And we get this idea that it's this nobility versus the very poorest, when in reality, the let them eat cake type notion that people have of the French Revolution is very quite discrete, like separate from the actual reality of what occurred in the French Revolution. As a matter of fact, it was certainly more so the case that it was the French middle class who had risen up against um, the the nobility, um, because by the year of the French Revolution in 1789, it was the bourgeoisie middle class who had grown to encompass 10% of the total French population. And when the Estates General had occurred, it was the pseudo third estate, the people who were technically belonging to the third estate, but were merchants, lawyers, civil servants. You know, um, we can see this represented by Lafayette, um, who had drafted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. We can see this with I forget his name off the top of my head. Um, the ugly one who did the Reign of Terror. uh, you know, a lot of these people were not, the people we think of. Not They weren't bakers, they weren't factory workers, they weren't farmers, definitely not farmers. Because what had occurred was when the French Revolutionary government took over, um, it was the farmers who rose up on behalf of the king. Because in their mind, they had a very strong connection to the land of France, and the land of France was shepherded and stewarded by the king. And if you have watched my YouTube video about the Kingsman, the Secret Service, you will understand this concept of noblesse oblige and the innate connection between the nobleman and the worker as opposed to the bureaucrat and the lawyer. And I think this is most easily summarized in the quote by Charette, who had led an army of farmers and peasants he was not a willing leader. He had to be um, compelled by the workers to become the leader of this popular uprising against the middle class French Revolution. But this quote by him is quite telling. This was shortly before his execution at the hands of the revolutionary government. He said, "Our homeland, for us, is our villages, our altars, our tombs, everything our fathers loved before us. Our homeland is our faith, our land, our king. But their homeland, what is it? Do you understand it? They want to destroy customs, order, tradition. So what is this homeland that mocks the past without loyalty or without love? This homeland of wandering and irreligion. For them, the homeland seems to be just an idea. For us, it is a land. They have it in their brains. We have it under our feet. It is more solid. And their world, which they call new, and they want to establish an absence of God. The new world is as old as the devil. They say we are minions of old superstitions. We must laugh. But in the face of these demons that are reborn from century to century, we are the youth, gentlemen. We are the youth of God, the youth of fidelity." So that's the quote. And it's very true. These people say they want to establish a new world. You know, you see socialists, communists, liberals, but their ideas are new. They're not new. They are very old. They are the same opposition to the same natural truths. It's convergent evolution. They are new in so much as these ideas that they have conceived are new to them. But tradition is like the white blood cell of a civilization's body. Tradition, although we may not be understanding of it, as long as we maintain tradition, we are immunized against the societal defects that occur naturally with the insufficiency of mankind and our own iniquities and our own sinful nature. And as long as we maintain these traditions, we will find that the tradition will make up for our iniquities because, quite frankly, the wisdom of the elders will certainly do better than the folly of the young man. But that is why it is youth, as opposed to the ancient opposition of the progressives and what have you, because it requires a new generation to foster these traditions. And with each new generation that does foster these traditions, they discover a new respect for them and a new love for the wisdom of those that came before us. And for every new generation that seeks to oppose these ideas, we bear witness to the same iniquities that have pervaded mankind since the beginning of time. And so I really think that it's important to bear in mind we really need to be humble. Humility is a feature that is very much lacking from a lot of people these days. And I think having the humility to realize that, we are young. We are the youth. And in that youth, we are insufficient. But we have been bestowed a great culture and a great civilization and a great tradition. And so long as we maintain that tradition, we will be more um, sufficient in our ability to combat um, societal defects and the natural iniquities within ourselves. So thank you very much for watching this little bit of a longer video, but shorter than some of my others. Just kind of talking about the French Revolution, the war in the Vendee, and kind of how we need to have a respect for our elders and an understanding of why people did the things they did before we were born. The kind of the age old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I hope you have a good one, and yeah, have a nice day.